good people? All right, so okay, this is gonna be a short one, a short live. I'm gonna be since I don't have a lot of people joining the live yet. People don't know I'm going live every day. So every day I will be going live 7:30 p.m. every single day. I'm gonna go live. Probably be short ones until I start seeing comments and I have things to go off of, conversations to go off of, right? Okay, let me take that every day back. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. I will be going live. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. I will be going live. So let's talk. Get straight to the topic real quick. We're gonna make a quick video out of this. So Hellcats versus the bottom of the line V8, which is the Challenger RT. Now, this conversation does not pertain to rich people. This conversation pertains to people that makes $100,000 and under. People who make $100,000 and under. This is who I'm talking about. So, if you make $100,000 a year and under, this is my audience for today. I'm not talking about people who make six figures and up. This is 99.999 $100,000, $99,000 and under. That's what I'm talking to, yearly. And I'm saying that because everybody, oh, you can afford. This is my opinion on what can be afforded and what cannot be afforded. My opinion only. So, Hellcats and Hellcat Red Eyes. A Hellcat, you can get a 707 horsepower Hellcat for off the lot for $70,000 to $70,000. Just say around $70,000, I believe. Then you can buy a Hellcat Red Eye for $85,000, I believe, somewhere around there. And we're looking at they're in that price range, right? So now a Challenger RT, and a Charger RT with a 5.7 motor with a V8 engine can be bought from $15,000 on the used market to $40,000 brand new. I think they're like $35,000 brand new, $40,000 brand new, somewhere around there. $40,000, I think, brand new. I would never, me personally, I would never buy a brand new car, period. I would never buy a brand new car, period. Again, this is talking to people who make less than six figures a year. Because the depreciation in that car is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And the payment for a brand new car is ridiculous. I would buy now if I have and I know people who make more than six figures a year and they still buy cars that are 30,000 miles at 30,000 miles. Right? So there's like the people that buy cars that are brand new. There's people that buy cars at 30,000 to 60,000 miles. Then there's the people that buy cars from 60,000 to 100,000. I'm a mechanic. I'm in that 60,000 to 100,000 range because the cars are completely cheaper and you get the same car. So I have a 2009 Challenger. My Challenger is very clean. The paint is decent. There's a little fading on the roof that you can't really tell. And I usually spray. I have this like kind of back to black spray that I spray on the roof every now and then when I wash it, and you cannot tell that there's any kind of fading. One day I'll get the car wrapped, and we'll go from there. So, with that being said, I got lucky. Yes, I got very lucky, and I bought a Challenger RT for the steal of the century for $8,000. And when I tell people this, they cannot believe it. For those people who want the 2015 Up Challenger because of the little facelift, and the 8-speed. Now, the 8-speed transmission does make having the newer one a little bit more appealing than having the pre-2015, right? Because the 8-speed transmission makes a whole hell of a lot difference in the automatic world than the 5-speed does. But you're not 2015s and up are not cheaper than 25,000 or cheaper than 30,000. I don't think. I'm good. I'll pass on that. I'll stick with the old, And the thing about the Challengers is the best thing about the Challengers is that you can buy. They've kept the same body style for so long now that the older body styles have still, and for the most part, you don't see bad examples of Challengers driving around, like messed up ones, right? So people tend to keep this car pretty clean looking. So it's still a good looking car as far as today's standards when it comes to the Challenger. So you can just change the front bumper and rear bumper, and you now have a 2015 plus looking Challenger, right? You have no idea the amount of people who think that my car is like a 2017. The amount of people think my car is brand new. Then the amount of people, I got a DM on my Instagram, which go follow me on Instagram, slowly going fast on Instagram. The amount I got a DM from a guy who asked me, hey, how much did you pay for your car? Around 30,000. I said, bruh, this is a 2009. Paid $8,000. Paid $8,000 for my car. So let's get to the topic really. So my Challenger RT, you can buy a Challenger RT for, let's just say $15,000. That's what you can buy for most people. If you buy a Challenger RT, you have the foundation to build a Hellcat yourself for a whole hell of a lot cheaper than $70,000. If you put $20,000 into a Challenger, your car is now 100 times better than a Hellcat with just $20,000. Than a stock Hellcat. Let's just continue. Just look at that, all right? Then your car with $20,000 put into any Challenger or Charger RT, you are better than a stock Hellcat. That's simple. It's really simple. It is obviously it depends on what you're willing to do. Like me, I'm comfortable taking my engine out of my car, sending it to a builder. So that obviously negates a lot of my costs because that is you're now taking off. They usually charge to remove an engine from a car. Mechanics will charge anywhere from 10 to 16 hours of labor, right? And most shops charge around $100 to $130 an hour for labor. That's what most shops charge. And that's, like I said, that depends on the shop. All depends on the shop. But most shops charge around that price, right? So you're looking at $1,600 right there just to take the engine out. And then not talking about the rebuild and everything else. So I'm comfortable taking my engine out. So like I said, $20,000 in an RT, you have a car that can beat a Hellcat. It's that simple. And for the people who's saying, oh, well, why don't you just save up the money and buy a Hellcat, right? Or use that $20,000 and put down on a Hellcat. Well, now if I put $20,000 down on a Hellcat, I now have a stock Hellcat I now have a stock Hellcat with no money to spend after that. Because my payments are going to be $1,000 a month, around $1,000 a month. My insurance is going to be nuts. So why would I do that? In my eyes, right? This is just my opinion only. My opinion only. Now, if you are a YouTuber and you're using your Hellcat to build your channel, more power to you. Then I understand, because you're using that car to make money. You're using that car to build your channel, get sponsorships, do all that. It's understandable. That car is a business investment. That car is a advertisement piece, and that name Hellcat brings people in, right? Somebody like me though, I don't really follow. The only Hellcat channel I follow is Mod the Fame, because his knowledge of Hellcats far exceeds the normal Hellcat owner. You see a lot of these YouTube channels with these kids who have Hellcats, and they know nothing about cars at all. They don't know anything about cars. They do ride-alongs. They have pretty girls in the cars. They do that's all they do. I got this big titty girl to ride in my car, and look what happened. Or I took my mom for a ride in the car, watch what happened. That's what they do. So Mod the Fame is, I think, the only Hellcat channel I watch. So this topic honestly actually came from, I started up from B Mason. I think B. Mason. He does Mopar Talk. So if you just type in, and I want to give him a shout out because I respect the channel. I like what he does, what he talks about, and his knowledge is very vast and far exceeds mine in the Mopar community, and his knowledge of transmission, gearing, all that stuff. When I listen to him, I'm like, yo, this dude knows what he's talking about. So believe he's a Hellcat owner, but he's a Hellcat owner who is a car guy first, who had other cars, who's probably who was drag racing and road racing, whatever he does, and was doing this before he bought a Hellcat. And for somebody like that, hey. But for me personally, with my knowledge, with my limited knowledge of Mopars and drag racing and anything else, these engines in the RTs and the 6.2 liter engines aren't that different, and you have the space. Anytime you can swap a motor, it doesn't matter what it takes to do it, the difficulty of what it takes to do it. Anytime you can do it, you can start with the bottom line V8 and build up. And for me, $8,000 starting point, no payment for the car, is dope. That's what I like. That's what I like. I don't have to worry about $1,000 a month. I don't have to worry about a crazy insurance on the car. I don't have to worry about crazy tags on the car. I don't have to worry about the gas guzzlers tax. I don't have to worry about any of those type of things that they have to worry about with a Challenger RT. I mean a Challenger Hellcat or a Charger Hellcat. I have a starting point and I can go from there, right? And I can, like I said, for way cheaper than a Hellcat, I can build a car that can beat a Hellcat. And that's literally my bottom line point. Now, and for people, like I said, okay, so we're talking about saving money. So for people say, oh, save $20,000, and I said this, but I'm just gonna circle back to it. If you have the time to wait and save to put down $20,000 on and have it to get a Hellcat, then to me, the smarter decision would be to take take $15,000, buy a RT, and save a little bit more, save $10,000, and in the meantime, you could drive your RT around and have fun with it, for a little while, get used to that power level, because you're just gonna get into a Hellcat and you're gonna get used to the power level, and after that, there's nothing. It's gonna cost you a whole lot of money to move up, right? And like I said, 6-figure and under guys. So with your RT, save up another 10,000 and get the engine built and get a supercharger thrown on it. Right? Now you're in the $25,000 range for this car, and now you have a car that's about as fast or faster than a stock 707 Hellcat. Again, $20,000 to $30,000. I'm sorry, but to me, that seems a whole lot smarter than $75,000. $100,000. Have you seen $100,000 race truck? Shit, $100,000 race truck is nuts. Off-road $100,000 off-road race truck is nuts. You can now compete with that. $100,000 Hellcat, you cannot compete with that in that class. In you cannot compete with that at the drag strip. I mean, can you? Yes, you can have fun with it, but I'm talking about like as far as the competition in that area, right? $100,000 into a 10,000. If you put $100,000 into a $10,000 or $15,000 car, you are at an astronomical car. You have a car. You can $100,000 into a Challenger RT into a Challenger Charger RT that is 15 grand. 426 crate motor. You can build it up to 2,000 horsepower. You can do that. You're now competing, with the top dogs with $100,000 into an $8,000 car. $100,000 into a $80,000 car, you're at like 900 wheel horsepower. And I'm gonna go off of Mod Defame. Like I said again, Mod Defame, his original red eye. He said when he was racing, I believe somebody, and it might have been somebody with a Porsche or it was somebody with a BMW. I forgot who it was, but he told them he was at 900 wheel horsepower, and he told them that he put about 15 grand. I believe it was $15,000 or more into his car to get to 900 wheel horsepower. And that is already an $80,000 car. So now you're talking about a $100,000